Ahem. Hey, yay. We are all gathered here to discuss a duel. A man versus a woman in pure fisticuffs. Claressa Shields goes and responds to Shannon Sharpe in Ocho Cinco about if she can knock out, beat, defeat a man like Rolly Romero. It is time that I get unpacked. Let's get started. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Quick PSA before I get started. Do not try to make me the bad guy when I go in and show y'all receipts. That's all I ask. Give me a fair shake. Listen to what I'm saying, my argument. I haven't watched it. We're going to see where this goes, but give me a fair shake. That's all I ask. Because when Boxingego, I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I get too technical for folk, and then they start saying, oh, you hating or this and that. No. Listen to the arguments I'm making, and we'll take it from there. Let's get started. Now, I've already made a video about the first thing that happened. And what I'm going to start doing to speed it along for the people who watch me all the time, I'm not going to recap as much. You know, so you go watch the video, you subscribe if you don't want to. That's on you. You won't know what's going on. But we got to keep this thing flowing for my new fans. So I'm going to start shortening up these recaps. Anyway, Claressa Shields, she had an interview with Justin LA Boy or LaBoy or whatever his name is, and she was on a podcast. He said, is there anybody, you know what, I'll just play it for you. Sounds like a deal?
Is there a male champion, regardless of weight,
Yep.
that you believe you can?
I be Rolly.
You notice she didn't even let him finish the question. Is there a male champ? She said, yup. How you know it's a yep? You don't even know the question.
That you believe you can, regardless of weight.
Let's take a listen to what she told Justin Boy.
Is there a male champion, regardless of weight,
Yep.
that you believe you can?
I be Rolly. He's a world champion. Rolly Ramirez. Listen,
Rolly Ramirez, that's not even his name, but okay.
it's not about, I think Rolly is very unorthodox. He's very strong, right? But I'm way taller than him, way longer than him, and got better boxing skills.
I'm way taller than him. This is what Claressa says. This is why Claressa Shields keeps putting herself in this position. I want you to hear it again so I don't misquote anybody.
I'm way taller than him, way longer.
Way taller than him, way longer than him. He a champion, and she's like, I could whoop him, right? Okay, way taller than him. Boom. Claressa Shields, listed at 5'9" with a 68-inch reach. Right? Rolly Romero, listed at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. So right then and there, I could end the video because what you said is not accurate at all. So I could just boop, hit record, and we unpack, coming to you live. That could be the end of the video right there. You just said you're way bigger, way taller, and way longer. You have the same exact reach, 68 for Rolly, and guess what? 68 for you. You are 5'9", listed on the official box rec. He's listed at 5'8". That's a 1-inch difference. So where do you get this whole I'm way bigger than him nonsense to even begin with? This is going to be easy.
He's very strong, right? But I'm way taller than him, way longer than him, and got better boxing skills.
Now, the only thing subjective, okay, you got better boxing skills. You can say that. You know what I mean? But you already admitted he's really strong and really awkward. So you're not off to a good start.
So how about one that has punches though?
So the dude's like, hey, what about his punches?
Did you not hear what I said? It's hard for somebody smaller to hurt somebody that's bigger.
It's hard for somebody smaller to hurt someone bigger. I've already established you have the same reach, and he's a man, and you're a woman, and there's a 1-inch height differential per your box rec. That's not that massive a gap.
I walk around at 185.
She was like, I walk around 185. I've seen Rolly post pictures on the scale, and he was in the 180s.
Fights at 140. Or is it 47? It's
He said 140, 147.
But I'm just saying though, like when you and then like with his skill set, he can't be.
So this kicked off a whole slew of stuff where Claressa, she continues to, I'm gonna call it Cheddar Bob, because you're shooting yourself. Cheddar Bob, if you know the movie 8 Mile, he popped himself. This is Claressa Shields. Claressa, we can't even say T-Rex. We got to say Cheddar Bob Shields, because you were yourself. The conversation should be the GWOAT. And you came up with that. You came up with that acronym, the GWOAT, which stands for the greatest woman of all time. But when you get on the mic and you talk like this, then it puts you into a whole different domain, and people, instead of what it should be about, are you the greatest woman of all time? Now you're turning it into something else. This has clearly caused pretty much conflict amongst the fans. Shannon Sharpe, he was like, Claressa ain't beating no trained professional guy, no male fighter. Then I guess Claressa reached out, and now she's on NightCap, which we're going to listen to right now. This is what Claressa Shields said on the matter.
Boxing. Look, Deontay Wilder have 41 knockouts. He getting there with a pure boxer like Tyson Fury and lose. This is men to men, but I am telling you, boxing. Look, Deontay Wilder have 41 knockouts. He getting there with a pure boxer like Tyson Fury and lose. This is men to men, but I am telling you.
Okay. Your analogy is that Deontay Wilder gets in there. We got all these knockouts, but he gets in there with a Tyson Fury, right? And he lose. What does that have to do with you? Like, come on, bro. We got to be real. And I like Claressa Shields, but nobody is above it. Nobody is above criticism and critique on my channel. What are we talking about? For one, Wilder is 6'7". Tyson Fury weighs almost 300 pounds, and he's 6'9". And you guessed it, they're both men. So it's a man fighting another man, and this man happens to be more of a swift boxer and happens to be 40, 50 pounds heavier and happens to be a couple inches taller. So what does that have to do with you, 5'9", woman with 2-3, you got 3 knockouts, I believe, right? Versus a man who's a power punching man fighting. Like, what did Wilder and Tyson Fury, where did you conjure that up? Like, where did you pull that out of thin air from? Like, and then this is what really got me peeved. This whole clique from Terrence Crawford to Keyshawn Davis to Claressa Shields to Shakur Stevenson, a lot of them frequently argue online on social media, disparage YouTubers and boxing fans and boxing media, like, y'all just don't know, y'all don't box, y'all don't understand. But then you have a boxer who's making some weak straw man argument talking about Wilder losing to a bigger another man. What does that have to do with the intergender competition? Like, it doesn't even make sense. And y'all know that. Y'all know what I'm saying is fire. Y'all know what I'm saying. It's like, oh, Tom Brady's team lost to Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady's team lost to Patrick Mahomes' team. So if Julia Roberts played against Tom Brady, then the outcome's going to be, what are we talking about? Like, Julia Roberts don't have nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. It don't have nothing to do with Peyton Manning. So it's like we're talking about different worlds. This is not apples and apples. It's not even apples and another fruit. It's like apples and D batteries. Now I want y'all to hear Claressa Shields then gets into it with Shannon Sharpe, and it's basically like, I spar guys all the time.
Hit by professional men boxers,
with
and
or
I
without
have not went to
headgear?
sleep. We sparring. When
Notice that long pause. She's like, we spar and I have not went to sleep. But he's like, with or without headgear. And then notice Claressa don't really have a rebuttal, so she just pauses.
hit by professional men boxers,
with
and
or
I
without
have not went to
headgear?
sleep. We sparring. When have I ever gotten a ring
in the
with
original
men boxing
thing, you didn't
headgear?
say sparring. You said you can beat Rolly. It wasn't until later that you said sparring. So the question is not.
Well, that's the only way that we can fight. Is it if it's a sparring? When have you seen a woman versus a man? I haven't seen. Have you?
So what?
Okay, already Claressa, she's pausing for a long time. She already getting cooked to me. She was like, when have you seen a man and a woman fight? But you're the one that brought this up. What are we talking about? You're like, the only way we can't fight is sparring. You didn't say that. You told Justin LeBoy, he said, is there any man that you can beat? And you said, yep, before he even finished the question, as I showed you earlier. And then on top of that, you were like, Rolly, he's a champion. I'll beat him. You also been on record saying you could beat Keith Thurman and Jake Paul. Now you're talking about sparring. So now you're switching it up, where initially you didn't clarify, which is what Shannon Sharpe is saying, right? He like, nah, you didn't bring up sparring until later.
You can beat Rolly. It wasn't until later that you said sparring. So the question is not.
Well, that's the only way that we can fight. Is it if it's a sparring? When have you seen a woman versus a man? I haven't seen. Have you?
So what do we talk? You said you could beat Rolly in a fight, not sparring. Sparring came along later. We played the clip. Do we need to replay the clip?
Notice Claressa Shields is getting cooked, and she just silent.
So you talking about up in a real fight?
Yeah.
You said you walk around at 185.
All right.
He
So
fights
you
at
saying
140.
So you saying that if it's money and belts on the line, and I got me a 2 or 3 month camp, you telling me that Rolly gonna knock me out up in what round?
See, this is why I don't like to, me personally, I'm too intelligent for it. I don't like to debate with people like what Claressa Shields is doing. She made a statement. Shannon Sharpe don't believe that statement and has addressed it. Claressa Shields was a good sport and went on his show, and they're hashing it out. He's standing on business, and like I don't see that happening. Fighting a man. Then she starts saying, "Oh, and sparring," and he's like, "No, you didn't add the sparring until the conversation until later, right?" And then she was like, "Oh, so you mean to tell me if I have a full camp, Rolly will knock me out?" He never said that at that point. He hadn't said that. You ad-libbed that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I don't like when people don't listen to what's being said, and then they want to debate and they start adding on stuff that you haven't really even said at that point. He didn't say nothing about he said you can't beat a man. He didn't say he'll knock you out. He does later, spoiler alert, say that Rolly would knock her out. But at the point in which she's arguing, she added that.
So you saying that if it's money and belts on the line, and I got me a 2 or 3 month camp, you telling me that Rolly gonna knock me out up in what round?
Rolly gonna beat you. Yes, Rolly would stop you. Yes, Rolly would stop you.
Hey, he said yes, Rolly would stop you.
Rolly would stop you. Yes, Rolly would stop you.
Rolly gonna knock me out up in what round?
Rolly gonna beat you. Yes,
But she said up in what round? What does that matter? If you get stopped, you get stopped. Wait, if it's the first round, the 12th round, 8th round, what are we talking about, bro? Claressa getting cooked.
Yeah.
You said you walk around at 185.
All right.
He fights at 140.
So you saying that if it's money and belts on the line, and I got me a 2 or 3 month camp, you telling me that Rolly gonna knock me out up in what round?
Rolly gonna beat you.
Rolly
Rolly would stop you. Yes,
Wow.
Rolly would stop you. Yes, I believe Rolly would stop you.
You are nuts. But I love that for you because
Now she's saying he's nuts, and I love that for you. All right.
when you don't know boxing, you just don't know boxing that well.
See, this is what Crawford and Shakur and Claressa, they always lean on. When you don't know boxing, you don't know boxing well. And I love this for you and all this other stuff.
And you don't know me that well. But I will say this, I've never went inside the ring with anybody and been just...
So can I ask you a question,
hey,
Claressa?
Here go my chin, hit me right in the... Come on now. Did you not see the defense and the offense in my last fight?
Can I ask you a
Defense was on point against who you're in there with, which happens to be another female. And let's be real, the talent pool in the women's boxing is not the same as men. And if I'm wrong, then you tell me, like, 175. You got David Benavidez, because he hasn't really fought at cruiserweight yet. You have Benavidez, David Morrell, Artur Beterbiev, and you got Dimitri Bivol, right? That's only to name a few people at 175, by the way. Not even including, other people that are right in or around there, Yoelni Hernandez or whatever. So I named 4. Beterbiev, Benavidez, Morrell, and Bivol, right? 4 in one division of straight up hitters. Straight hitter. Like Claressa, like saying to Shannon Sharpe, he don't know boxing. Well, I do. I named 4 people in 175 in the men's division that are all straight up savage and hitters and great fighters. Not even including the guy that Morrell fought that dropped Morrell, the Russian dude, right? That are some really good and dangerous guys. We just named 4. Name any division that Claressa Shields has fought in where you got a Bivol, a Beterbiev, a Benavidez, and a Morrell in any of those divisions. So what are we talking about? It's not the same. I ain't never took a dump on women's boxing on my channel. I support it. I actually covered Claressa Shields' very first fight. I've covered a couple Claressa Shields fights. Don't have a problem with her, but what you're saying is not adding up.
Come on now. Did you not see the defense and the offense in my last fight?
Can I ask you a question, Claressa?
Can you answer the
yes.
question? Did you not see the offense and defense?
That was against Franchon. This is Rolly, a 3-division champ.
Listen, guys that really know how to box, I would tell you that they can do what they can do, that they better boxers or skilled or powerful or whatever than me. Rolly is not.
Claressa, even if he walks around at 180, and he walks around, let's just say for the sake of argument, if he's making weight at 140.
So you're just underrating Rolly from the eye test, like he's horrible. But if he's so horrible, how come Rolly did what Devin Haney didn't even do? Right? Devin Haney, there was never a moment in the Ryan Garcia fight where Devin Haney dropped Ryan Garcia. Rolly did, though. And he had Tank Davis on his P's and Q's, being mindful and being cautious. And Gervonta Davis later gave props to Rolly, talking about he do really got a brick hand, and he's probably the hardest puncher I've ever fought. So it's like Claressa Shields sounds out of her depth.
I'm saying he's probably walking around at 160, 165. I'm going to be generous and say he's stripping between 15 and 20 pounds off. Even at 155, 165, his body still produces more testosterone as yours.
Nobody ever said I was stronger than Rolly. I never said that. You said that. I am telling you.
He didn't say that.
Off of pure boxing. Look, Deontay Wilder had 41 knockouts. He getting there with a pure boxer like Tyson Fury and lose. This is men to men, but I am telling you, skill to skill, skill to skill. You are not looking at skill to skill, man. You're just not, because you can't, because you too macho.
But that's you looking at Rolly, you look
too macho.
Looking at Rolly like he's not skilled. You're looking at Rolly like he's not skilled.
I am telling you that Rolly is skilled. He's not better skilled than me.
But
and Ocho even just told you that. Ocho just told you that.
So I'm gonna ask Ocho.
Ocho just told you that.
So he's not as skilled as Claressa. Do you believe Claressa can beat him in a fight, in a sanctioned fight, a 12-round fight with 10-ounce gloves? Do you believe Claressa could beat him?
That's what I explained in my first when I first said it. Are you going to be able to protect yourself in a 10-round fight and not get?
See, Ocho, he's trying to be peacekeeper. You know, that's what it is. He's trying to be like the peacekeeper.
Court in exchanges.
All you gotta do is tuck your chin and keep your fucking hands up. What are we talking? I'm finna go in there. Oh, I'm finna go power for power with Rolly. Man, come on. You seen the jab in the fight. You seen the head movement. You seen the body work. And anybody that know when you fight against somebody that's strong, you hit them where? The body. I'm going to Rolly's body early.
Where do you think he's gonna hit you? Let me ask you a question. Where do you think he's gonna hit you?
Everybody gets hit.
But you've never been hit by a man without headgear.
Why would I have to get hit with a man with?
What is like, bro? Claressa's making it really hard. Shannon Sharpe said he was cooking. You never been hit by a man with no headgear, and her response is, "Why would I have to?" Huh? If you fought Rolly, which is what you initially said, not sparring, you would have smaller gloves, and absolutely in a pro fight, there would be no headgear. So what do you mean? Why? Like Ronda Rousey famously didn't want like her female sparring partners. They had to sign NDAs to not like punch her in the face. Like, bro, it's part of the game. If some like Twilight Zone world Black Mirror reality were to occur where you fought Rolly, then you wouldn't be able to have headgear.
You've never been hit by a man without headgear.
Frustrating.
Why would I have to get hit with a man without headgear?
If you fight Rolly, it's going to be a fight. You said if you got 2 to 3 months to fight, you could take Rolly out in a real fight.
I can't tell you what can happen with or without headgear versus a man, because I never did that with the men. I've only sparred with just like a man can tell you he's never been hit by a woman without headgear, because they don't spar us without headgear either.
But normally men don't. First of all, it's hard for me to believe that Keyshawn Davis are getting ready, or these elite fighters are getting ready for another elite fighter. They're going to bring a woman in to spar. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen or it hasn't happened. It's just hard for me to believe that Manny Pacquiao's getting ready to spar, getting ready for these great fighters, and he's sparring a woman. It's just hard for me to believe.
No, it's hard for you to believe because it's only one Claressa Shields. A lot of these women cannot spar against men and get ready for no fights. They sparring against other women. I cannot do that. I watch every woman who I spar, every woman who I work out with, I watch them. I am advanced. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I grew up in a gym with nothing but boys and men sparring them. Listen, the truth hurts. And what I think that hurts for you is to know that I'm a pure boxer. And I know how to box very well. I don't fight like a girl. I know how to box, Shannon. I know how to box.
I'm not saying that you don't, but I don't understand why I would be upset. I want you to win. I've spoken in glowing terms and saying you the best, but I just don't believe that you're gonna be a 3-division champ that's 147 in a fight. I just don't.
Yeah, and you know what also
you can have that belief, and that's okay. It's not nothing wrong with that.
This is also what I also want to say, and I kept saying it last night, and I've regurgitated it over and over and over. When it comes to you being the greatest at what you do, it's really the mentality you have right now, the belief that I can do it, whether we believe you can or not. For me, you getting in there with the actual fighter, the weight division champ, and me understanding him not being a pure boxer and all that. I just understand the dangers behind it. I understand the danger behind
hit by professional boxers.
See, again, Ocho Cinco, I'm not even really worried about what he's saying because he's just trying to be peacekeeper and like keep the peace. Like Shannon Sharpe standing on business, Ocho Cinco kind of just like, you know what I mean? Oh, da-da-da-da. Oh, I understand. Like he just kind of talking to me, right? But Ocho was cooking. And the problem is Claressa brought this on herself. Me, boxing media, the fans, Rolly, Shannon Sharpe, none of us had any ideas for you to fight a man. You kept saying that, and I can prove it. You said it about Jake Paul. You said it numerous times about Keith Thurman and also Rolly. So, Cheddar Bob, You banged yourself. Like, you put this out there. Like, you can't get mad at people's opinion when you created the conversation. I wanted to see Claressa fight Alicia Baumgardner, Shadacia Green, maybe rematch of Hannah Gabriels, my girl Raquel Welch, right? I mean, I said Raquel Welch. Raquel Miller, right? These are the fights that I want to see. You brought up the whole conversation about what if I fought a man, and then, to be honest, Shannon Sharpe buried you.
Answer being, listen, I'm not afraid to get inside the ring and spar against a man. I never have been. And I think people love to bring up this clip where I got dropped in 18
Yes.
by this guy. I didn't get knocked out. I got dropped.
Yes.
And plenty of
It don't matter if you didn't get knocked out. You got, like, dropped hard.
guys get
Is
dropped.
that the guy that Rolly dropped? That knocked out?
That's the guy who Rolly knocked out. Absolutely. Rolly knocked him out around 2019. But this is what you have to understand. That guy is a cheat. He didn't have no padding in his gloves. And if it's not true, why him and the coach haven't sued me yet?
But hold on. So now she's saying the guy cheated, which she said in the past. And if what I'm saying ain't true, then why haven't they sued me? But then all you have to do is flip that. If what you say is true, what you're saying is true, why haven't you sued him? Right? You are the GOAT. You are a 2X Olympian. If somebody violated in that fashion and skinned their glove or tampered their glove or put egg weights in the glove or whatever happened, whatever you're claiming allegedly happened, why wouldn't you sue them for everything they're worth? Right? Because that could really jeopardize your career, and it produced a viral clip. So you can't say, oh, why is he not suing me? Why are you not suing him?
That dude, I had whooped him the week before. He was mad. He didn't like it. I'm a black African-American female. They don't value women in his country, and they definitely don't value no damn black woman.
Now she's saying it's because she a black man.
His coach gave him some worn glove that he said he got from Roberto Duran as a gift. This is what the man said. Derek
Roberto
Santos, the
Duran
coach.
gloves.
The gloves had 0 to no padding in them, and he caught me with that hook when we sparred because he wanted revenge on the week before.
So I mean, and that, see, now that makes you look worse, because the way you said it, you said you pulled a knife on him because you whooped him. He came back, wanted revenge, so he came back with, like, now you're basically saying he had some broken in, worn gloves. I know a lot of people that spar, and unfortunately, there's no commission, so there's no regulation. So you're not passing the inspection for sparring. I know so many boxers. I'm just going to be real. I've been in the gym, so you don't try to play that with me, right? I've been in the boxing gym, and sometimes people fly in and they don't even have their stuff. So they have to borrow somebody else's stuff, right? Pause. They don't have, like, oh, I don't have my bag. I don't have my stuff. I didn't know I was going to be sparring, but yeah, I'll work with you. I just need some equipment, right? So in that case, you're kind of just given or have to recycle or use somebody else's gloves. And any real boxer knows everything that Boxingego just said is facts. There's times where you don't have all your equipment. Like, remember when Tank sparred Devin Haney? He said he had him and Broner or something just flew in or whatever, right? So he might not have had all his stuff. You didn't know you were going to be sparring Devin Haney, vice versa.
Or when I tapped his ass. Now, this is the thing, right? He sparred me and another guy the same day. Anytime I go to the gym and I'm sparring rounds, getting ready for a world championship fight, I spar 2 different men. I always done that. I'm always the one standing in the ring, staying fresh. He sparred that same guy, and I was standing there confused. It's my first time ever getting dropped. Been boxing since I was 11 years old. I've never been dropped before, so I'm curious on
Hannah Gabriel's dropped you. Huh?
how this dude dropped me, right? So I'm watching him and this dude named Harold Kadarin spar, right? After me and him got done. I'm watching them spar, and Harold said, you wasn't hitting like that last week. And I looked and I said, what the fuck you meant by that? When they got done sparring, I walked to him and said, hey man, good work. I hit his glove. And I can tell you, it was no padding in there. My coach John David Jackson was there. Derek Santos was there. Derek Santos, he grabbed the gloves off of the dude hands and stuck them in a Ziploc book bag and walked off. I literally ran to my car, and everybody know what I did. Everybody know when I ran what I ran to my car to go do. But I learned the valuable lesson. When you sparring against anybody, check their gloves. I've never.
But you just said you were boxing since you were 11, and you're obviously a breadwinner in your circle. You're not gonna have that in place or whatever, especially given the fact that you're sparring men. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what. And she said she had never been dropped before, right? She had never been dropped before. And she's like, this had happened in 2018. I'm pretty sure she just said that, right? Again, I know boxing. You fought Hannah Gabriels, and look, Shields was knocked down in the first round. So you just said you had never been dropped before. And here's the thing. You fought Hannah Gabriel in June of 2018. So I guess it's plausible, maybe, that in the first 5 months you sparred this dude, and the Hannah Gabriel fight hasn't happened. But you're not invincible, though, because you got dropped by a female in this fight. So I want that to be noted. Y'all let me know what you think about that in the comment section. This whole thing is really like nuts.
6, and they can't bring up nothing else that's flawed in my career, but that knockdown. And then the knockdown with Hannah Gabriels came a couple days after that when I fought her.
Okay, so she clarified it. I guess the sparring happened, and a couple days later, the Hannah Gabriel fight happened. But it don't matter because you got dropped by a female no matter what. You got dropped by a female. And then now you're talking about beating championship men.
In the first round, I still won that fight unanimously, but I've never been dropped before that and never have been dropped after that, after those moments.
Now, the other thing, I treat it like a court case. The other thing that for me is kind of a weak argument is notice Claressa keeps talking about sparring. I sparred men. I've been boxing since I was 11, and I've been sparring men and men. In sparring, though, we all know when you're sparring, the ounce gloves changes, and you're wearing bigger, more pillowy gloves. Because, again, think about it. If Floyd Mayweather is 50 years old and he's fighting a dangerous Pacquiao, one of the greatest southpaws ever, right? He got to protect his hands. He already has hand issues. So if you're sparring in like small UFC type gloves, you could break your hand before you get to the fight or bruise it, or bruise a knuckle, blah, blah, blah. So we know headgear exists in sparring and bigger gloves. So your whole argument is I could beat Rolly in a fight with a full camp. I could beat Keith Thurman. I could beat Jake Paul without headgear. And then you admit here, why should I have to fight guys without headgear? Then you don't know what it feels like to be punched by a man in the smaller gloves that a man would wear in men's competition. I find this whole conversation to be like utterly ridiculous. And you have to blame Claressa for it because nobody was pitting women. No one said Amanda Serrano need to get in there with Gervonta Davis. Nobody said that. Claressa brought these conversations into the fold, into the fray. And then now people are reacting, and a lot of people don't agree, so they're reacting negatively, right? You said you could beat Rolly and Jake Paul and Keith Thurman. And, like, I'm not even trying to clown. I'm being so real. I respect Claressa Shields, great fighter. She's doing her thing. But your argument don't sound good. And then when you're talking about beating Rolly because I can box, okay, you have 18 fights and 3 knockouts, bro. You literally have 18 fights and only 3 knockouts. And that's with women. And some of these women are they might be ranked, but they're not crazy good, right? Like this chick is 11-2, right? The 2 Chainz looking chick. This chick was 5-0. Like, so it's not like these incredible 16-5, Cornejo, right? So it's not like these people have these crazy resumes. And let's be real, 5-2, Hannah Rankin, you know what I mean? And you talking about I'll beat Rolly, he not that good. And against men, he's 17-2. And he only lost to Pitbull and Tank Davis, right? On wax. 3 knockouts from Claressa. You know what I mean? So it's like you would have to stay safe for all 12 rounds. And you got 18 fights, 3 knockouts. Layla Ali got 24 fights and 21 knockouts, who you also had issue with. Almost a 90%. She closed her career with almost a 90% knockout ratio, right? And from 99 to 2007, almost 90% knockout ratio. And I never heard her dad's a legend. I never heard her talk like this. I never once heard the conversation, I'll whoop these men that are fighting. And she actually has an impressive knockout highlight reel. You don't. That's just being real. Claressa Shields don't have like a Gervonta Davis, Wilder, Layla Ali, and Wolf style highlight reel. You know what I mean? You never did somebody like Canelo did Amir Khan. And you're just like, oh, Rolly, pretty much Rolly's trash. That's what you're saying. So I'll step on him.
This, boxing that, da, da. Oh, he's talking shit about me because boxing is all that I.
But you overlook all the other stuff I said, that you the greatest, that you were sensational, that you were 2-time Olympic champ. So all the good stuff that I said, you set that to the side and just focus on the one thing that I said, that you couldn't beat Rolly. So all the 15 great things I said.
No, you didn't say I couldn't beat Rolly. You said Rolly gonna knock
I didn't say Rolly was gonna knock you out. I said Rolly would beat you. Yes, I believe he would stop you. Yes, in a 12-round fight. Yes, I believe.
Bro, and it goes back to what I said earlier. You ad-libbing. Initially, he said that a man shouldn't be fighting a woman and Rolly would beat you. That's it. You added that other stuff. He didn't initially say he would knock you out. Now he said that because you joined the show. You know, so to me, this is not a good look for Claressa, bro.
Rolly would stop you.
Did so did you say that or no? I
said he would beat you, but I do believe he would stop you.
A stop you was a knockout, right?
Okay, TKO, KO, whatever you want to. Hey, they throw the towel in, whatever you want to term you want to use.
No, and no. No, that's not it. But y'all know that I got mad love for y'all. Y'all know that.
The fact that you.
Man, I can't. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I can't take this no more, bro. It's like weird. And you know what? Because Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco have like more celebrity than like boxing fans or myself or a YouTube channel. Notice Crawford, Shakur, Keyshawn, and Claressa, that whole regime, that whole circle, they seem to like dismiss actual boxing fans. But then you tell Shannon Sharpe told you to your face you would get stopped by Rolly. But if I say it, it's a problem. If I say you shouldn't be fighting a man, it's a problem. When it's a YouTuber, you don't respect it. But a person like me who's a YouTuber, I've been doing this for years. Stay tuned to the end of my videos. I usually save the best for the last, especially in the unpack. So what I'm about to reveal, y'all don't want to miss it. So just a spoiler alert. But my thing is this, is like, you got these guys, this circle that I just named, and they're constantly talking about YouTubers don't know boxing and boxing media and the boxing fans, the people who do this all the time. But then Shannon Sharpe told you to your face what a lot of the fans are saying, but then you arguing with the fans and like, you're ugly and da-da-da-da. This is all a bad look for me, for Claressa Shields. I don't know who your PR person is. I don't know if they like the job they're doing, if you like it. None of this needs to even be happening. This don't even need to be the conversation. People should just be celebrating you for the great fighter you are and line up Shadesha Green or Michaela Mayer. These are all good fights for you. You entertained it. You brought up the subject matter of what happens if you were to fight a man and all that, and Rolly can't beat you, and you brought this negative feedback. But peep this.
You and Shakur can compare accolades at the end of y'all careers.
My career's
What do you mean
over.
with that? I know, and you a Hall of Famer,
Yes.
correct? In football.
Correct.
So how would y'all
I'm saying
compare?
when his career is over, when he
accolades?
retired, we'll look and see what he's done, and if he's recognized as one of the greats, if he's recognized with Leonard and Pacquiao and Roberto Duran and Tommy Hearns and Floyd Mayweather.
But you know he will be though, right?
Let's see. We said this.
But I'm saying like sometimes you just see it.
We
and you-
said,
See, okay, so now she's trying to defend Shakur, doing a horrible job. Shannon Sharpe says, we won't know until it's over and the career is completed. And then she's like, oh, yeah, we do know. We know right now Shakur is the business and he's going to be an all-time great. How do you know that?
we said the same thing about Jermaine Taylor, didn't we? When he stopped, remember when he beat Bernard Hopkins? We said the same thing. He was on that trajectory.
She don't even know who Jermaine Taylor is. When he said Jermaine Taylor, she go watch it, please. I'll put the link in the description. She mouthed the words Jermaine Taylor. I swear I just seen her mouth the words Jermaine Taylor, like as if she doesn't know who he is, bro.
Trajectory, right? So let's see
Bro, this generation is cooked. You don't know Jermaine Taylor? Cuz?
how it plays out. You got to let a career. You can't get halfway through it because we've seen guys start out great and things happen. And I pray nothing happens to Shakur. But we have to let the career before we do that.
This is long. This is a longevity thing. Like
Yes.
Shakur, Olympic silver medalist to turn pro.
Olympic silver medalists don't got nothing to do with your pro career. Lomachenko had like 400 wins and like one loss dang near in the amateurs, and he got multiple losses as a pro in like less than 22 fights. Amir Khan's a silver medalist. He kept getting knocked out.
I believe he's 3-division world champion. Am I correct?
Probably so.
Yeah, I think he's probably 3 or 4. I don't even know which one. I hope he don't crucify me for that. I need to learn my brother's stuff. But I will say this. Shakur is already a Hall of Famer right now with what he's accomplished right now.
So let me ask you a question. Is he one of the best 5 lightweights to ever fight? So is he better than Duran? He better than Sugar Shane? He's better than Sugar Ray Leonard? He better than Floyd Mayweather?
Sugar Shane Mosley?
Bro, get this generation out of here, bro. She said Sugar Shane Mosley. He said, is he one of the best lightweight? Shane Mosley and Roberto Duran are probably the top 2 lightweights of all time. And she's doubting it like Sugar Shane Mosley, like he spoke a foreign language, like Shane Mosley wasn't that dude. Bro, I can't listen to this. I'm about to end the video soon, bro. I have to. She said Shane Mosley, like what Unc said, was preposterous. Like Shane Mosley, because you thinking about his whole career, he said at lightweight. Bro, not even low key. Shane Mosley probably knocked Shakur out, bro.
He one of the best.
Shane Mosley had explosive speed and power, and he was dominant. His record at lightweight, he was like 32 and 0 with like 27, 28. Oh my gosh, bro. This generation, it's surprising how many of these young generation, they don't really know the history. Like rap, you get these young Gen Z rappers, they don't really know like Method Man and Raekwon. They don't really know the history, right? They don't know who Chingy is or Nelly. You know what I mean? She talking about Shane Mosley like he said something crazy. Wow.
But I will say this.
And he better than Sugar Shane. He's better than Sugar Ray Leonard. He's better than Floyd Mayweather.
Sugar Shane Mosley?
At that division. Pacquiao at that division.
And she making his face like Shane Mosley. Oh my gosh. This is disappointing, to be honest. You're getting cooked by a non-boxing person and you're the boxer. And she's like, Sugar Shane Mosley. And she turning her head like that was crazy. What's crazy is you don't know Shane Mosley, who he was at lightweight.
I think Shakur is a better. Now,
Better
See,
what?
I like Pacquiao. He's very aqua fighter and all that stuff. Shakur boxing skills.
No,
Come on now.
skills is what.
No.
Here's the thing now. If right
What you
now,
talking about?
if he were to retire right now, is he better than Shane Mosley? Is he better than Floyd? Is
No,
he better
no,
than
no, no.
Pacquiao?
He
He's
can't
better than
retire
Sugar
right
Ray.
now.
Is he better than those
Not
guys
right
at the
now.
lightweight division?
No, not right now. No, at the lightweight, not right now. See, you talking about these guys' full careers versus his career, which is right in the
So
middle.
now do
right
you understand why I said when his career is over, let's have a discussion?
Bro, Claressa getting bodied. And I looked it up for y'all. Boom. Shane Mosley was undefeated as a lightweight, compiling a record of roughly 31-0 with 33 or 33-0 with 31 or 32 knockouts. Come on, bro. Shakur mess around and get cooked by prime Shane Mosley. What are we talking about? He was in shape. He was fast. He was explosive. He had power, speed. Man, come on, bro. And then Claressa, I swear, please go watch the NightCap and watch this scene that we're going over right now. And Claressa making all these funny faces like Shane Mosley wasn't that dude at lightweight. That's pretty sad.
I'm lightweight, not right now. See, you talking about these guys' full careers versus his career.
Now she flip-flopping. She was like, now you talking about these guys' full careers versus Shakur's still in his career. That's what Shannon Sharpe was saying from the beginning. He was like, we'll see when it's over. And you're like, no, sometimes you just know. Oh, my God. Claressa Shields, I don't know who approved this. This should have been in the bloopers or outtakes. You getting cooked.
Which is right in the middle.
So now do you understand why I said when his career is over, let's have a discussion?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, Shakur is going to be considered like the Floyd Mayweather in just a year or two.
How can you tell us that? There are so many people, like he said, Jermaine Taylor, Antoine Douglas. There's a lot of people that were supposed to be that deal in all sports that didn't pan out. Remember the Raiders, Jamarcus Russell, right? I'm talking about sports. Greg Oden, Derrick Rose. Like, Derrick Rose is a legend, but I don't think he fulfilled what people thought. You know, damn sure Jamarcus Russell. What's the dude? Andrew Luck with the Colts. Like, throughout sports, there's people like, how would the world know? Like, there's people who have been like first round draft picks, right? And they're like, oh, this is the next big deal. He's the next Tom Brady. And then Andrew Luck, he retired, talking about I'm in pain too much and I'm in too much rehab and I don't want to do this to my body, right? So he been retired. But he was one of the people projected to be the next Manning brother or the next Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, and it didn't work. And then meanwhile, Tom Brady, who's probably the greatest quarterback ever, wasn't projected to be, he wasn't the first round draft pick, and he wasn't projected to do what he did. Michael Jordan was doubted too, and he went on to be the greatest basketball player. So Shannon Sharpe is cooking. You don't know how someone's career is going to turn out and pan out until it does. Because how many fighters have we seen that were that deal and then they got in there like Amir Khan? If Amir Khan had a better chin, he'd probably be impossible to beat. He'd be very hard to beat. Rangy, amateur experience, silver medalist, taller than a lot of his opponents, very fast, respectable power and pop. But his kryptonite was his chin. So losing to Lamont Peterson in the close fight, Danny Garcia knocked him off track with that hook, Canelo body, you know what I mean? So, and then he loses to Kell Brook. So you can't really say he had the career that people projected. When he was beating Zab Judah and guys like that, people were like, all right, Amir Khan up next. So yeah, Claressa, that's incorrect. You can't really judge Shakur's career based on what you think.
You know that, right? Because he gonna fight the guys who y'all say that he can't beat.
He gonna fight the guy. How can you make that? What if he get injured? You know what I mean? How can you just tell us what you're Doctor Strange now? now you know what the future holds.
And if he can get the fights, because
you just said, I can't listen to Claressa talk. Not in this interview. She just said he gonna fight all the guys that y'all want to see him fight, and then she said if he gets the fight. 6, 7. Which one is it? If he gets the fights, or he will fight and beat the man?
I'm telling you, Shakur is going to be considered like the Floyd Mayweather in just a year or two. You know that, right? Because he's gonna.
How is he going to be considered a Floyd? This could be a 2-hour rant. It's not going to be, but it could be. How is Shakur going to be considered the next Floyd Mayweather in a year or two when it took Floyd 19 plus years to be considered the Floyd Mayweather? Like, what are we talking about?
He's gonna fight the guys who y'all say that he can't beat.
He's gonna fight the guys.
If he can get the fights, because.
But he won't weight clauses. He won't rehydration clauses and all that.
Which is smart.
What you mean?
Now she's saying it's smart, bro. She shouldn't have did this interview, bro. Shannon is actually cooking. I didn't know he had like this in him.
It's smart. Listen, these motherfuckers gaining 30 and 40 pounds after they weigh in.
Who's gaining 40 pounds? Hey, blood, I'm so done. Who is gaining 40 pounds? So, you mean 40 pounds after weighing? So, I can't. I don't even know what to say, bro. Claressa is officially getting cooked. This is like Layla Ali beef part 2. You're getting cooked. But what made it worse is Shannon Sharpe's not really directly from the boxing world. Layla Ali is at least a boxer. You said people are gaining 40 pounds allegedly in Shakur's weight division. Who? Even Devin Haney, who's pretty big, and Keyshawn, 40 pounds? So you mean to tell me Keyshawn Davis went from 140 to the next day 180? Come on, bro. He would look like a blimp.
This is crazy. It's smart. Listen, these motherfuckers gaining 30 and 40 pounds after they weigh in. This is crazy.
They always did that. They always rehydrated and refueled up. I didn't know anything about a rehydration clause until Tank and Ryan fought. I don't remember Sugar Ray around at 180. I make 147. Why you could? I made the weight. The weight said 147. So now,
and we never heard Terrence say rehydration clause.
Correct.
And like Shakur is actually a little guy. I think he's fought the Olympics at, was it 126?
I can't listen to it anymore, bro. Now you're friends with Shakur, so you got excuses for it. But here, just like Claressa, Shakur gets himself in the same problem, right? Where you called out Ryan. You said he's easy work. You said he can't fight. You said he hasn't improved from the amateurs and so on and so forth, right? So when people want to see you fight him and he's calling you out, it should be no thing, right? But instead, it is a thing because now Shakur is putting on weight clauses that would prevent the fight. Ryan said he's not doing it. So you're literally getting in the way of the fight. And you also roasted Gervonta Davis for having weight stipulations. Man, this camp needs something ASAP. But back to Claressa fighting a man. I told you I saved the best for last. I never lie. Y'all know that. I recorded this 7 years ago, right? And I want y'all to hear what Claressa Shields had to say 7 years ago, because it very much pertains to this conversation about her fighting a man. You'll hear my voice. I specifically asked her, I said, hey, you spar with Errol Spence Jr., and let's listen to what she said to me 7 years ago. Roll the clip.
I get it.
She just said, oh, you didn't hear what she just said about you.
I said I want to spar, bro. What you talking about?
Bro, I'm such a legend in this game. I got Claressa Shields and Tank when they were friendly with each other, and I got a crispy 4K video of it. I got to be the greatest. There's nobody greater with the longevity that I had. And notice, Gervonta Davis, she like, I want to spar you, bro. I want to spar you. All right. But why you ain't calling out? You calling out Rolly, a guy that Tank beat. Why don't you call out Gervonta Davis? Y'all said he hit women or whatever. So fight Gervonta Davis if you could beat a man. But anyway, listen.
Speaking of sparring men, you spar with Errol. How was
That was
that
so long
experience?
ago. He's too strong for me. He was stronger than me then. I probably could do a little better now.
Boom. That was my voice pulled up on Claressa Shields. I said, speaking of sparring, you sparred Errol Spence. How was that? And she was like, oh, that was a couple years ago. He was too strong for me. But I probably do better now. Listen again.
He was stronger than me then. I probably could do a little better. I said I want to spar, bro. What you talking about?
Speaking of sparring men, you spar with Errol. How was that?
That was so long ago. He's too strong for me. He was stronger than me then. I probably could do a little better now. I mean, I could definitely hang in with Tank though. He 130.
Now she's like, I can hang in there with Tank because he 130. So I don't know what it is. Again, like I can't even give this props for like the confidence aspect, right? I can't. Because some people are like, man, I like Ochocinco, like, oh, I respect his confidence. She's like associating men's weight to, oh yeah, you too little for me, I could whoop you. But you're not talking about men's strength versus a woman's strength, right? Like, I really don't even want to have this conversation, but we gotta put things right on my channel. We Unpack coming to you live, right? You gotta be real. Okay, so let's say the strongman competition, right? Name any female on the planet that is lifting more than the strongest man on the planet. Right? So them Game of Thrones looking big dudes that get the boulder, right? Name any female in similar competitions where what that shot put, whether it's the strong man when they're lifting big kegs and canisters and barrels and all that type of stuff and bricks and anvils, name any female that I'm not talking about the female stronger than the average man. Because if Claressa Shields said that, I wouldn't even have a problem with that. If Claressa's stance was, I'll whoop a non-trained dude, like everyday Joe off the street, and they can't see me, I wouldn't even make this video. You got that. An untrained man, and you train all your life, the untrained man don't even know how to throw a punch. You know, so yeah, you could definitely negate a size differential when there's that type of skill gap, right? But if you're a shooter and this person is a decent shooter and ball player, it's a different conversation, right? Right? Like you could be Steph Curry, but you can't sleep on this is Shaquille O'Neal. Like he can't shoot like Steph, but he's very big, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's differences. And Claressa told me to my face when I asked her that Errol was too strong. Now, I'm not going to get into semantics of if Rolly's punch is stronger than Errol, but you, out your own mouth, 7 years ago, told me that Errol was too strong for you. And we know Rolly Tank himself, who you're standing next to, and said, hey, I want to spar. I could beat him. He too little, blah, blah, blah. Tank out his own mouth later fought Rolly and said that Rolly had a brick hand for show and Rolly is the biggest puncher he's ever faced. Tank said that. And then Claressa sounds delusional coming out like, I'll beat these guys.
I said I want to spar, bro. What you talking about?
Speaking of sparring men, you spar with Errol. How was
that was
that
so long
experience?
ago. He's too strong for me. He was stronger than me then. I probably could do a little better now. I mean, I could definitely hang in with Tank though. He 130.
I'm hitting harder than Earl though. I hit harder than Earl.
Oh, he hard. Okay, well, I probably can't
Yeah,
then.
man.
Okay, hold on.
So
I
we're-
mean, sparring against Earl, like, I couldn't even pull his hand down. He was so strong. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah,
He was-
I mean,
This the Claressa that I prefer. The one I was in front of, I told you I saved the best for last. The one I was in front of, you dig. And she was like humble, laughing, having a good time, had the little box braids, the poetic justice braids. This is what I can get behind. She had the flavor. I don't know if the fame or the papoose relationship or the money, I don't know what's went on, but like you doing things a little bit different right now. You're admitting, you said I could not pull Errol Spence's hand down, because he was so strong. Like, you can't pull his hand down. You can't pull a man's hand down, bro. I never heard Terrence Crawford say he can't pull Errol Spence. He beat Errol, right? Or Jermell Charlo. He ain't never said, oh, when I sparred Errol, I couldn't pull his hand down because he was way too strong for me. But you're saying that a woman.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, I mean. Oh, he hard. Okay, well, I probably can't there. Okay, hold on.
So
I mean, sparring against Earl, like, I couldn't even pull his hand down. He was so strong. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to fight him too. I was 17. I was way more aggressive than what I am now.
So you're
So she was more aggressive, which makes sense. You're younger. You don't know your craft as much. You got aggressive with Errol Spence and couldn't do nothing with him.
takeaways where he's just all around strong.
Yeah, and I couldn't bully him. I was used to bullying everybody when I was 17. He more bullied me a little bit, but
He bullied me. Errol Spence is a goon. He bullied her, bro. What?
we went 3 rounds. I know another girl he sparred, he dropped her. He never dropped me.
Bro, Errol Spence, a savage. He out here dropping women. Come on, bro. Y'all thought I wasn't finna go in the crates with this one.
No headshot, no body shot, nothing. And everybody was, nah, he ain't dropped me. Nah, I know another girl he sparred. You know it too, I'm not gonna say her name. Anyways.
He dropped her?
Yes, body shot. Wow. Yes. He
So,
ain't dropped me. But he hit me there.
What do you
He
think of
dropped
Mikey
me.
Garcia and Errol's?
Bro, this girl said Errol stopped a chick to the body in sparring. Let's go, EJ. Hey, stop that cat. Man down, strat season. Yeah, I definitely do it. That boy from DeSoto, he vicious, bro. He's stopping females in sparring. He's like, well, you got to learn. You want to learn. I got you. So anyway, in summary, I want Claressa Shields to get back to why we all love her, focus on what you do great. All this, like, I want to fight a man. It's like, where is this even coming from, bro? And again, I could respect it, right? I could respect it a lot more if you said you'll whoop an internet troll that's a man. That would make sense. You know what I mean? But a trained fighter, even if you have a better skill set, you believe, is still a man and a trained fighter. Rolly's been doing judo and then got into boxing. I don't even know why you even called out Keith Thurman. Jake Paul been boxing 5-6 years now, and he mad bigger. He look way bigger than Tank. When I'm looking at Claressa next to Tank, she don't look way bigger. Jake Paul looked significantly bigger than Tank when they were scheduled to fight. So it's like, this is just madness to me. That's why I had to go in the crates and show this, what Claressa Shields was saying before. You said you could not pull Errol Spence's hand down, and he's stopping in the sparring. You know what I mean? And then now you went on this quest of what men you can beat. And just because someone asks you a question, you don't have to answer it. You know what I mean? Or you can answer it and put something a little bit more believable. And I guess in short and in closing, there's differences between men and women, right? Period. Like, if you see a female who's 6 foot or above, that actually becomes almost like a commodity because not every female is going to be that tall. If you see a guy 6 foot or above, you know, it's a bit rare, but not as rare as seeing a girl. Like, if you see a girl that was 6'6", you'd be like, dang. But if you look at the heavyweight division, how many guys are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" in the men's division, right? Also, the females, they're doing the 2-minute rounds. Remember when they tried, I think Serrano argued for the 3-minute rounds? That fight was horrible. You got the 3-minute rounds, and it was the worst in the trilogy. I think it was the Katie Taylor fight, right? So there's differences. Men's boxing, 3-minute, 3-minute, 3-minute. All of them. You know, the amount of rounds could change depending on if you're a new boxer, championship title fighter, whatever. So let's stop the lunacy, people. That's my follow-up video. Let me know how I did. I know I did an amazing job. We unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.